Okay, so this is one of those weird stories. Yeah, I know, it's Tadao. It's never weird. I was helping many years ago a couple friends move. They just got married, and it was kind of a weird first move. I mean, they had the usual things. They had the beanbag chairs, they had the boxes full of fluff, and there were a bunch of us helping. The biggest thing that had to be moved was the very large stone marble top dining room table. Yes, you can guess. They were Renfair people too. Um, Sci-fi geeks, model makers. It depends on what you make it. Anyway, so we had just finished moving it into the quote unquote dining room area. It's a little L shaped, and then there's the kitchen, and it's got an open wall thing, and the wall it is just ridiculous, and it's long. It extends past places, and we're sitting on stairs, and everyone's discussing where are we going to go for pizza, or do we want pizza delivered in? How much more are we going to move? Now, at some point, I look, and suddenly, I don't know if it's just me being tired, all of a sudden it says, meow. There's a cat in the middle of the air, and it disappears. I'm like, wait, what just happened? And all of a sudden I hear this, foof. What was that? And I look, and there's a beanbag chair. And the beanbag chair suddenly undulates, and I'm like, what the? And then the cat comes out. That was funny. Maybe the cats are just, all I hear is, meow. Foof. What was that? I look again, and again, the beanbag chair goes, and it gives birth to another cat. I mean, they have like 3, 4 cats. It's like, ah. And it's like, that was, beanbag chair. Cat comes out. Guys, and they go, and then finally I caught it. Meow, this cat comes, a materialism, and boom. I was like, wait, so the guys, look. I said, well, look, see where the table, and also, and the beanbag chair gives birth again. I said, wait. All right, and listen for it. And meow, this cat materializes in midair, and then disappears slightly. I was like, what the? And then we figure it out, and we look more carefully. Meow, the cat materializes in the midair, and flumps into the chair, and then the chair goes, and then it gives birth to another cat. I was like, what? So and we're looking, how the cats, and then we hear something, down, give it. And we all just kind of sashay sideways into the kitchen, and through the open wall area, we hear a, and we know that the beanbag chair is giving another birth of a cat. It's like, wow, that's weird. And then we see it. We see this splash going past. It's like, what? And apparently, the cats have a new game. The cats are trying to get on top of the brand new slick marble table, the really long marble table. I mean, and it's like the cat, and then we start looking around at the corner, and the cats are trying to get on, and each cat is trying to figure out which one's going to be able to stay on the slick marble table. And it's like, yeah. It's like, what the? Watching the cats, it's like a Tom and Jerry's, cartoon, because first cat I see is meow, and it's like tail is up, feet are up, and the chin is down on the ground, his front paws splayed out, and meow, and we hear foof. Okay. And then the next cat we see going across is suddenly sitting on all 4 paws, trying to screech itself to a stop. And we look over at the end of the table, and apparently the cats are trying to jump on the chair and gently jump on top of the table. That's not working, because as soon as they jump on the table, and then the cats are getting more creative when this goes along. So they're jumping on top of the windowsill and then trying to launch off that. And I was like, meow. Ah. And then the next cat is trying to jump off, like, the shelves onto the chair and then onto the table. And it doesn't quite make it because it's now spinning. Meow, meow, meow. We've discovered cat curling. And he's like, all of us are just really tired. Now we're starting to make commentaries. And here comes the calico cat from the East End. Meow, meow, meow. And that's at least a number 7. The 7 on the scale of goes. Also, this mount was kind of awkward. And all of a sudden, it's like, and anything you've ever seen or can imagine, a cat with a tail straight up going 360s all around the table. Meow, meow, meow. meow. A cat going backwards. That was the interesting one. We're not sure how that one. Meow. It's like cat curling. Now, it was an interesting while to do that. Now, I have to flash forward a little, several years later. My friends are still married, and they moved in. They kept the table. And I just like, they moved their furniture. They kept the table. The table's kind of got grooves in it, and, you know, from all the cats using the... They came home to find that the floor is sandy and wet. It's like, what? Now, a few cats have changed, but they heard the familiar cry. Meow. I went, oh, God, no, the new cats have figured out. Because all this time, they haven't actually used the table that much, and it'd been covered with, you know, paperwork, taxes, who knows. But Tadao is what they said. Tadao, you won't believe this. The cats have been overshooting the table. They don't even have beanbag, you know, chairs anymore. So apparently, the first thing is that there's peanuts all over the floor, and the cats are all going like this, and going what? And one of the cats says meow, and poof. This time was they overshot and hit the, you know, moving box filled with packing peanuts. So they realized meow, poof, and the snowfall of packing peanuts is all over the place. Weird. And then they discovered, okay, and then one of the cats decided he's going to do an angle on it. So he's jumped off, shot across the, and they heard a splash. You see, my friend also makes models, so they got this giant fish tank. Well, it might be a lobster tank, I don't know. And this is where he keeps all the models to test on whether they float or not. And he makes unusual models, too. And his wife was going, oh, my God, that was horrible. They said, what? I said, what? So apparently the cats had been overshooting and splashing into the tank. That's why the floor's all wet, and they all went to the, you know, the kitty litter box, and, you know, they all got sand. All this, no wonder. And so there are deeper grooves now on the tank. You know, sparks flying everywhere. But the thing is, one of the cats has managed to catch itself in mid-flight, front ways, and it's caught the outside of the tank, you know, front way, and splash. His lower tail body is kind of stuck, and he's kind of like meow, and the next cat has also overshot, but this time all they hear was meow, click, in the foof, and a beep. And they're looking at each other, what was the click, boom, into it? I mean, and all of a sudden they realize the mechanical shark that he'd been working on that kind of looks like a transformer that was in the tank, and it starts moving. Apparently one of the cats has landed on one of the boxes of remotes and shaking off the peanuts. And the cat is trying to, and the cat that's still in the tank can't get out because it's still slick. It suddenly sees this large red-eyed laser pointing, it's like, meow, 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 and, you know, trying to get out, you know, this little rear end, like a little tom jump. And the problem is that it didn't quite work because the timing of the shark just caught its tail. Turbo-powered cat. Meow. Didn't quite make it out. All you see is the cat hanging halfway over, looking at itself, and the shark trying to gnaw at its tail. Finally, the shark's jaw went, and the cat went, boom. Yeah, the thing that they said was the saddest part was, through both their heads, they kept hearing, da-dun, 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 meow, meow, meow. Cat curling.